Hey guys, I am Foxtrot Delta and welcome back finally to some more Space Engineers. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, about 2 days, and it's been even longer since I've uploaded Space Engineers, but I have completed yet another somewhat colossal creation which I think is a lot of fun to use, and I want to share it with you guys, and then tomorrow there should be more Star Trek Legacy following this, so that'll be pretty cool. So I want to show you this aerial base that I have created. This is but one room. This is, I think, the largest vessel I have ever put together in Space Engineers. It is only atmospheric capable at this moment, mainly for Earth deployment. You will see no oxygen vents anywhere, which is probably a bad idea since there could be different pressurization at different altitudes. I may change that in the future, but right now I want to give you the grand tour of this amazing Atlas Regional Superiority Airbase. At least that's what I call it. We're on the roof right now. This is the rooftop access. We have 6 large antennae. You can immediately see 6 turrets in total on the top that are visible. There are 2 more in the back down there, but if we look down there, there's the Aft Landing Deck. Let's get a better view of this, however. Let's jump off the side. There it is, in all of its glory. Yeah, I did say it right. It is the Atlas Regional Superiority Airbase. What a mouthful, but it seemed only fitting for something this large. It has a lot of upwards thrust because it is very heavy. It's all light armor, but don't let that deceive you. It can really hold its own in a fight. Well, all light armor except for this section right here, which is heavy armor, and there might be, yes, in the back, there is another section which is heavy armor on that landing pad, which does have lights flashing on it to guide you in. We have 2 large hangar bay doors up here, so you can move into the hangar, and then 2 large ones on the side. So, let me get a nice view of the front. There it is. A lot of turrets. This is bristling with turrets. It's inspired by the Titan airbase / airship from the Battlefield 2142 game, which released in, I think, 2006. I want to say it's 6. It might have been 5. I think it was 6. Which actually is one of my favorite Battlefield games. And so I thought, why don't I build something like the Titan, except larger? And I think I have done that. Let's get back in. The main entrances are actually on the side here, but I'm going to go in the top because that's the place where we exited from. We'll just start at the nose and work our way back. So this vessel was built primarily with transport in mind. It has a vast hangar in the center, as well as a lot of cryo tubes. You can actually see cryo chambers, lots of cryo chambers. I think I counted them at one point, and I think actually the number is accurate in here. I believe it is 66 cryo chambers in total. Sometimes that's wrong because I can remove stuff, then I'll add one and it'll still count it, but I think I didn't remove any. So a lot of cryo chambers. Oh, and the size itself. This is not a huge vessel, but it's my largest, so that puts it at 11,239 blocks, and at least it's my largest as far as PCU goes, definitely at 54,815 PCU, so not something I'd recommend if you just spawn multiple copies of in an online server, but one is good. Although I've noticed when I've used it in online servers, my personal computer's RAM goes too high and the game locks up, but that's just because I need more RAM. Alright, so this area right here is sort of the intelligence... No, actually not really intelligence, just observation deck, even though you can't really observe anything with that metal barrier in front, but you'll just get sensor readings from incoming vessels, and just a nice observation of the weather. Really, it's just a relaxed atmosphere up here. If you go down 1 floor, we're going to arrive at the main hub for for the control center of the ship. I probably should install ladders up here. I might do that. But if we go forward, here is the main bridge. My goodness, is that a beautiful sight. The sun is, I think it's setting. It might be rising. I thought it was setting before. Now I'm not so sure. Let's look at these shadows on the wall. Not that it's important. Can't really tell. I think it's setting. I think those shadows are rising up along the wall. And if it does set, that means we'll have a pretty cool... well, actually, we can look right here. That might be... I cannot tell. You know what? It doesn't matter. It does have some cool lights in the exterior, though, so we can check those out at some point in a darker area. Let's go to this side. We have a conference room slash potentially a mess hall, a place to relax. A lot of passenger seats. Perhaps they could dish out food here. I'm not entirely sure. You know, I built this thing, and then I didn't really have a purpose for all of the rooms immediately. I just had a lot of space left over. So I think that makes sense. We have an identical room on the other side to keep everything nice and balanced, and actually balance is a thing. I noticed that this thing before was too front heavy. It would tilt forward, and that's why I have heavy armor in the back. And I did not believe that would be an issue in Space Engineers, but apparently it is. Things can tilt just under their own weight. And this is all one solid connected piece. So there are no connectors here. Every block is physically attached to the next, so it's not like I have a bunch of connectors and pistons and rotors that could weigh things at different ratios. No, this is all one block, one flying brick. So here's the other conference room, meeting room, mess hall area. We can go back and we will find... Also, this is one of the only places with windows, actually. I actually think it is the only place with windows other than the Aft Control Center, which we will get to eventually. So the bridge and these conference areas have windows. Here's the starboard. Not really an airlock because, well, A, it's not an airlock, and B, there's air on both sides of it at all times. Already been in there. If we go left to this transport hub area, we have some control seats. Not many LCD panels yet. Have to flush this out a little bit with stuff. Here is the starboard auxiliary control room slash control center, just another operations section. There are 4 of these throughout the ship, not including the bridge. There's 2 up here, and then if we go back, you will see there are 2 more by the rear med bays and cryo tubes. Let's go down 1 level, and then forward. Here we will find the cryo tubes and med bays. So, medical room, long line of cryogenic tubes. We go up here, another long line of cryogenic tubes. So this is a troop and pilot transport. We also have large cargo containers and hydrogen containers to refuel vessels. So it is an aircraft carrier in that sense too. We have supplies and the personnel. And all the facilities necessary, I think. Now, I don't have any of the new DLCs enabled, so you won't see any beds or toilets or things like that. One day I do plan to download them, but for now, this is just regular Space Engineers without any DLCs, so this will be on the workshop. You can download it. You don't need any of the DLCs. You can just run it the way it is. Alright, let's go down another level. This is where more interesting things are. Toward the back, there's direct access to the hangar. This is the only barrier between the hangar and really the main command center up there. That whole section, really. Let's go forward first. You have some interesting features up here. I didn't know what to put here because we had thrusters on either side of us holding us up, and I was running out of space to put things, so I just had this empty cavity. But if we go through this door, or that door as well, we come across the troop deployment doors. So troops would be lined up here. You can push this button, and they would parachute or jetpack out onto the ground below. Or if you wanted to, murder a crewmate, this is the way to do it. Just push them when they're least suspecting it. Which just happened. So, yes, that works quite well. It's the only one of my ships to feature something like that. Actually, this ship is unique in a lot of ways to the rest of my designs. Namely that it is atmospheric only. No space capabilities were in mind when creating this. Alright, let's go back. Same thing on the other side as I already mentioned. Now we're going to encounter the... Should I do the main hangar first? Yeah, you guys want to see the main hangar. Look at this thing. It is massive. You can have all kinds of aircraft stashed in here. Double height doors on either of the sides, the port and starboard, and then we have the upper doors, which are much smaller for small fighters to get in and out. We have our control center up there behind that bulkhead. Let's open up all of the doors actually, so we can get the I think that's the port, yes, and starboard hangar bay doors. We have the upper doors. Nope, that's the aft hangar blast door. Here are the upper doors. Game froze a little bit there. All right. So we are now all open to the air. Look at that. There's the aft control center, or really, this is the control terminal for incoming aircraft and leaving aircraft. They have a nice eye on everything that's going on. So this really is gigantic. That's why we have so many thrusters, is because I wanted a lot of space to put things. And we needed power to hold that up. So let's go back forward. I want to show you the lower control room, the lower bridge, and engineering. So here we have a whole bunch of gyroscopes. All the ship's gyroscopes are held down here in this dark hallway that's unlit. So, well, yeah, there are no lights. It's the way it is. Go down here. Actually, go up here. Save that for a couple seconds. Here is engineering, no doors. We have 4 large reactors. There are batteries tucked somewhere on the inside as well. This catwalk right here is what we were standing on just a few minutes ago. That leads to the forward bridge area. And the secondary bridge is right below us, actually, for landing operations and potentially ground battle operations. Okay. I think, well, this is really all there is to show you of engineering. Not that much. We can try to go back a little more into here. So here, okay, yeah, here are the batteries. We have the heavy cargo containers over here. We have 1, 2, we have at least 4 on the ship, maybe more, I can't quite remember. Large hydrogen tanks. Actually, they only come in one size. Conveyors, all kinds of fun shenanigans happening. Alright, let's show you guys the secondary bridge. Now, this vessel is made primarily to support aircraft over a battlefield, but it can come in close for ground operations. It has a lot of turrets, and it's on its ventral areas. We can take a look at those for a second. So if you look, we have, oh gosh, 1, 2... Is that another turret, or is that just a thing? Let's see. Okay, that's a spotlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turrets, I believe. On the underside of this, all rocket turrets, so made for pummeling ground vehicles and infantry. Although they can easily be taken out, so I wouldn't recommend keeping this in the fight down low for too long. Although this secondary bridge down here, this lower section, is surrounded by heavy armor, so it can take several direct hits by things. And this thing can land. It has 4 large landing gear sticking out there at the right distance away from the lower side of the hull, so we won't hit anything with this bridge. And a wonderful view of the surrounding land. Really nice. Now, one of the features of this seat is we can hit 1, that will disable the main cockpit on the bridge. You have to step out of the seat again, then get back into it, and you can control the ship from here. I had the gyros on override. Also, one of the features I have just set up in the cockpit right here is the, let's see, disabling the rear thrust. So now if we tilt down a little bit, we can just cruise, slowly increasing speed until we tilt back far enough that we slow down. But yeah, you can be stepped away from the controls and just look as the scenery rolls by underneath your gigantic air fortress. Pretty nice. And I guess if I was using scripts and timer blocks, I could make it so this would automatically correct for the curve of the planet, and I wouldn't have to tilt it down every so often to keep going forward. But I'm not that smart. Anyway, this looks really cool. I'm going to make it stop right now, though. We're going to slow down, just in case something goes terribly wrong. So we're slowing down. I'm going to lock the gyros back in position. And we are stopped once again. And I think we're level? I'm not entirely sure. It's difficult to tell with this. Not that it matters too much, although this does not have great lateral thrust. So it does matter a little. Moving backwards. Let's move backwards. Let's go all the way back to the aft section. This is right behind the aft blast doors for the hangar. There we go. We can control those doors right here if we wanted to. I'm not going to do it right now. If we go up, game froze. If we go up on either side, we can access more cryo tubes. A lot of cryo tubes. I don't think it's as many as in the front, but still quite a few. Same on the other side as well. Close that. And if we go farther back, We are now in the last section of the ship to be explored. Actually, not the last section, the second to last section of the ship to be explored. The last section is the deck up above us. And up above us is the flight control room. But here is the Aft Operations Center, one of the two Aft Operations Centers. Here's the other one. And in the back are medical bays. And more medical bays. So this is made for operation and, well, crew maintenance and health. So intelligence reports would come in here, they'd be looked over, sent to the bridge, etc. Lots of really neat stuff. I'm not entirely sure what the crew complement of this type of vessel would be, but it is a lot, and it's more than you'll find on most servers, so you can't really ever have this fully crewed, at least not yet, but it does look really neat, and that was the idea that I was trying to succeed in. Let's go up to here, the flight control room. A nice view of this upper flight deck. We have those lights going. Catwalks that are slightly ground down to give a more catwalky appearance, although there are no railings, so watch out, you can just fall right down. Lots of control seats. You can go out, you can access the upper flight pad. We have connectors, and you can take a ship right in through here. A lot of my ships fit through here, actually no problem, even though it's pretty short, but it does work. Now, just what type of vessels would be on a ship this size and of this classification? Well, I did build one just for this ship. It has the same name. It's called the Atlas Dragonfly, which I think is a pretty common name among space engineers builders. Lots of things people name Dragonfly, and it just sounds cool, so let's get it out. I'm also currently working on another ship, which is a gravity-propelled battleship. Though construction on that is going somewhat slowly. Come on, let's bring up the blueprint menu. You can do it. There we go. Atlas Dragonfly right here. I built it in space, but it does not fly in space. Here we are. There it is. It also has a very Battlefield 2142-esque appearance to it. It looks futuristic. Kind of a jet helicopter type of design. Let's turn off the rear thrust. Same features in this actual airbase. And let's also turn off the landing gear and connectors. I think I turned that one on. Okay, well, let's go. Here we go. It actually took me a while to get the power consumption right on this. It used up so much energy that it would just overload itself. It has, oh gosh, how many reactors? A lot of small reactors. But also has a medium cargo container to keep up with the fuel requirements. Yeah, this is the light fighter aircraft you would find aboard this airbase. And I think I'll put this on the workshop as well. It's not on there yet, but I'll throw it up there. So, like I mentioned, this airbase's primary function is just planet Earth control. A local military. It could be used on other planets. I most likely will refit it with oxygen vents and airlocks so that you can take it to other planets like Mars and still have air to breathe inside. Or you could just mandate that all of your soldiers and pilots have their spacesuit on at all times, which could get somewhat tedious, cumbersome. Alright, and the last thing I want to do is, well, first I want to fly through the upper hangar doors because they're really cool. This thing is gigantic. Okay. Alright. Let's turn back on the rear thrust so I don't collide with anything weird. And turn on the front spotlight. There it is. Also, the weapons consist of one Gatling gun and one rocket launcher. And that's it. That's all. Come on. And we are in. Let's just put this down and connect it if I can. And let's turn off all systems. There we go. I did not connect to an actual connector, but that's fine. I have noticed that when I do have ships in here, it does add to the weight of the thing, and the thrusters don't quite compensate for it. I think, I might be wrong, but I think when I have the inertial dampers on, they only account for the mass of this ship itself in planet gravity. And if I add more things to it, they don't automatically compensate. That's my thought, at least. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's just the way the thing's bounced, that things just vibrate ever so much that it causes the thing to move very slightly. It's a very slow change. You can see the pixels slightly shifting with the fact that my ship is landed. Also, this ship, as I mentioned, is made for atmosphere only. It has no downward thrust, just upward, forward, lateral, and reverse. And finally, the last thing I want to do is delete this, and delete this, and take this to an area that is nice and dark, and at nighttime. Oh, perfect. Right over the lake. That would be amazing. Alright, let's get the character here. And the airbase. Once again, waiting for the blueprints to load up. Atlas Regional Superiority Airbase. Not sure why it's not the first thing that comes up. I use it the most. It's the second thing that comes up for me. Okay, now this is not going to be perfectly level, unfortunately. It'll be close. Alright, we're on the bridge. Oh, we are pretty darn level. That's not bad at all. And let's turn on the exterior lights, button number 7. There they are. So you can light up an entire ground base with this thing. And it just looks cool. So let's head back out, if we can. There it is. The Atlas Regional Superiority Airbase in all of its glory. I love the lighting. Let's get a look at the landing pads if we can. Let's open the port and starboard hangar doors as well. Port hangar doors are open, and starboard hangar doors are open. And where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it went. We have these lights on a timer on the inside. Well, they're not on a timer block, they're just timed, because that's a feature of the lights themselves. Now we can really see the illumination on the aft landing deck. Very cool stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Space Engineers. As I mentioned before, this ship will be on the Steam Workshop ready to go. It actually is already on the Steam Workshop. I just haven't made a video on it yet until now. And I'll put the Atlas Dragonfly up there as a companion vessel in case you want to check it out too. If you guys don't want to check it out, you just want more Star Trek Legacy, that's fine, but I do enjoy playing Space Engineers. It is one of my most favorite games out there by a lot. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like, and if you are not subscribed and you want to see more, well then please subscribe, because there's always, or hopefully always, more Space Engineers on this channel. I'll try to record more because it's a lot of fun. If for whatever reason, however, you guys did not enjoy the video, I do apologize deeply for that, and I ask that you leave a comment in the comment section, and let me know what it is that I can do to improve the next videos that I produce, so that hopefully you guys will find some entertainment when you watch them. And if you have any questions regarding Space Engineers, or you can't find my stuff on the workshop, you need some help, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, talk to me about that, and I'll try my best to get back to you. I hope that all of you, every single one of you, is having an amazing day. As always, I am Foxtrot Delta, and I will see you next time.